Yo, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? Gonna share, and today in this video we're gonna talk about the immortal Hidan. We're gonna be talking about his full kit. So his kit is not really that complicated. It's very simple. Like most of his attacks are actually normal nature. The nature is normal, except for the ultimate, which is one of my favorite ultimates in the game. It's very fun, like one of the best animations. It's very beautiful. I love using it. Like ever since I started this team battle, I was actually playing with him to get some some information on know how good he is. And I gotta tell you, I've been playing with him for the past 4 or 5 days, and he's amazing. It's so much fun to play with. So he used to be one of the best characters to actually use as a main character right before the nerf in attack mission 3 months ago. And the reason is because he has this not this one, this skill. It's not a Sujitsu, I guess it's just a skill. It's called Punishment by Dragon. What he does is that he hurls a sickle ahead, causing damage. So what he does is he throws his sickle in front of him. It goes through the wall. It has a very huge range, probably one of the biggest range in the game, and it goes through any kind of walls. And it used to actually get all 3 needles from behind walls back then, when the needles were actually very hard to go against. But now that they are nerfed, hardly anyone uses that needles now. So he has not been used that much in attack mission. And to be honest with you, I've been trying to use him in attack mission, and like I have only 30% with him win rate, because he's a red type and he dies very fast. Even though I have like 4 vests on him to make his defense quite decent, but he still dies very quick. So his other 2 jutsus are really simple, like the false god omen. What he does is that he holds his sickle and barrel to the ground and spins around. So he spins on the ground. This is the 4-star jutsu. It does pretty good damage. You can kill a lot of enemies with it, and it does pretty good damage if you go against an enemy 1 versus 1. And then there's the other one, which is the god's judgment. He spins with this one as well, but he spins in the air, and it does the other kind of knockback effect on the enemy. So they are pretty simple. The only one that is quite interesting is this Punishment by Dragon. What he does again is that he throws his sickle and destroys everything on its way. And in case there's an enemy that sickle hits at the very end of that attack, he pulls that enemy next to him. So it's exactly like Mitsuki's hand skill. Like if you've ever used Mitsuki, he has that hand that stretches and catches an enemy and pulls it next to him. So it's exactly the same, and it does damage as well. So his jutsus or skills are pretty simple. There's nothing really special about them. And then the ultimate, my favorite ultimate, not really my favorite, but it's one of my favorite ultimates in the game. Yeah, 5 days I've been playing with that, and I can't get sick of this animation. It's so beautiful, one of the best animations in the game. So what he does is that he puts a curse on the surrounding enemies, causing a large amount of damage. What he actually does is that he uses his sickle to put the curse on every single enemy that is around him in a circle. Then he draws his circle and starts his rituals, and then he stabs himself, which means that any enemy that is behind him or around him in this circle will die, unless of course they use some kind of protection like Susanna protection or use their ultimate. The only problem with this ultimate is that he does 2 hits. The first one is when he puts the curse on the enemies using his sickle, and the second one is when he stabs himself. And between that there's like 1 second to 2 seconds. It depends on how many enemies are around him and how many are like coming next to him, towards him. Because if all of the 4 enemies, for example, are, we're talking about the last room for example, if all of the 4 enemies are right around him, he's gonna hit them all with 1 hit. But if there's enemies that are coming to him one by one, he's gonna take more time to actually do the first hit, and that means more time or more delay between that hit and the second hit, which he stabs himself. And of course that stab reflects to the other enemies. But by then the enemies that got knocked back at the beginning of the hits, the first hit, they can just like stand up and use their ultimates or they can just escape from the circle, which is kind of terrible if you think about it. But again, yeah, I just use this for fun. I wouldn't advise you to ever use it in attack mission, the single mode attack mission, of course. And yeah, it's purely for fun now. He's not worth the Shin Weiss to be competitive in the game. I wouldn't really tell you to use it in attack mission or SAM or any place except for, of course, the team battle, where you go with 3 other players that can actually help you, even though you're probably not the best character in the game. But yeah, I gotta tell you, he's really fun. For the past 5 days I've been playing with him. He's so amazing. So for the rest of this video, you're gonna be watching me playing with him in team battle. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the video, guys, and I will see you on the next.
球の術。次氷結。ざまねえぜ。これがオイラのお箱だ。ざまねえぜ。次氷結。次氷結。ざまねえぜ。